two girls from South Korea, Lena and Sarah. And they were with us for 1 month. 1 month.
Yeah. They both had their own unique personalities. Sarah was quieter, very sweet, very kind. Whereas Lena was more trendy, kind of rambunctious a little bit. Yeah. So
Not as quiet, more social.
more social. She was definitely more social.
Right.
Yeah.
Took them to the beach.
Yeah.
And took them on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
They went to church with us every Sunday, and usually we'd go to lunch afterwards. And that was kind of fun because there was a group of them from South Korea with other church members, so they could see their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
They love that.
They enjoyed
They love
that. And we played games.
Monopoly.
We taught them to Crazy Eights.
Crazy Eights, yeah.
That was super fun. They loved that game.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun. It's kind of funny because you think about the things that you love, like food-wise, for example, and you get excited because you're like, oh, you know what, we're going to make them this and this and this, and they're just going to love it because you love it, The reality is they don't necessarily. Like Amber made them pancakes one morning for breakfast, and they were not crazy about them, So you kind of get it in your mind that, I can't wait to take them and do all these things that you enjoy doing, but they may or may not enjoy doing it. But I do think that they enjoyed the American culture. It was great to see their faces light up when they were doing something new that they enjoyed doing, and that was fun. But yeah, they don't always enjoy what you think they would enjoy.
Right.
So
It was so fun. And we had, at the time, we had our son Landon home. So our daughter Avery was in college. So he just took them in like his little sisters. So he loved to tease them and joke with them, and he'd go in and make funny faces at them. And I'm sure they thought he was crazy. But we could hear them giggling, and that was kind of fun at night. You could remember when they kind of giggle, or they'd be in their bedroom. So I think they enjoyed it. But just kind of the normal family bonding stuff. Like they were our kids and Landon's new sisters.
yeah, and it was funny because, and this is kind of where we are, but they had a routine. When they got done with school, they immediately came home, put their stuff away, and put their PJs on, like that. And so, hey, we dig that. I mean, they got
I like to get comfy.
they got comfy really quick.
Yeah.
And they were very, just studious about getting their homework done. And,
Yeah, they definitely did have a routine when they would take their showers and all that. So it made it really easy on us. We never had to tell them to do this or do that. We would just say, okay, dinner's ready. And they were very flexible. We learned a lot about food. They loved kimchi. And so not only were they trying our food, but they would also, there was, I guess, a group of them that they would go to the Asian markets or the Korean markets and get the food that they loved, and then they'd bring it back. And so they got to share some of the food with us as well. So I think that was kind of fun for them. And then they would try to teach us words. And I think more than anything, the enunciation was the hardest part, was learning how to, not necessarily, I guess, how to enunciate it. So they would giggle at us because, one, we have accents, especially, from the South. But, so that was fun, just learning words and just learning what we would ask them, like, what did you do back at home? What kind of things? They were very into school. School was a big deal there, so I remember them talking a lot about how they were in school, a lot longer than we are, or our kids are here.
Yeah. And just some of the things about South Korean culture and geography and those kind of things were kind of neat to learn about. Because we never really experienced. I mean, having somebody in your house from another country for a whole month, never experienced that before. So you really learn a lot about that culture. Just having them in the house and asking them questions and stuff like that. And learning about some of their pop culture and what they enjoy doing and how that correlates with the U.S. and it's pretty cool.
I think try to have something from their culture. We tried every meal to have rice, white rice. I think that made them feel good because they do eat a lot of white rice. So maybe studying up. I know we did study a lot and we also kind of had a class through the school that told us what things don't do and do. So I think mainly trying to add in stuff into maybe the menu or your dinner times, times that you eat, that you know they're gonna like, so that if they don't like what's served, they have something that's a little more comforting.
Yeah, and I think also just to be flexible. Don't expect. Don't have your expectations set a certain way and just be flexible, because they're different, completely different culture for them. Sure, it's complete culture shock, and so I think be comforting, make them feel comfortable. Go out of your way to make them feel comfortable, recognizing that they're in a completely strange place would be a good tip. We try to do
And we
that.
let them have kind of their time too. Like they shared a room. So I think they liked their downtime just as we like ours. And so we would definitely have times where it's like, okay, we're gonna, after we eat, we're gonna play games, we're gonna do this, but then we also gave them their time and their space to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because our two did not necessarily,
They weren't like best friends.
they weren't.
Yeah.
And they weren't for the entire time. I don't think that for the entire time that they were there, it's not like, I think they may have gotten to know each other a little bit better, but they weren't two kids that would hang around each other back home, because they were completely different, you know what I mean? So, kind of gets back to expectations. Because I kind of thought when they looked, the two of them are going to come, they're going to click, they're going to get along great, but it was different, because they were completely different personalities. So.
And one would talk to her mom every day, or maybe her father too. I remember mostly her mom. I don't ever remember Sarah ever talking to her mom.
No, her friends.
And I think we even got on they would FaceTime, and so we would say hi to their moms and dads.
To one of them.
To Lena's, yeah. So, so I think us being flexible is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty flexible people, so.
Yeah.
So it worked out really well. Just seeing them, like when we knew they were excited about something, and then hearing them, like I said, Lena, when she talked to her mom, she'd get really excited about certain things. So we tried to, I think, just lean into what they liked. And some things, like they would say, we want to do this, and they didn't turn out perfectly, but we just kept trying. But I think just seeing them light up and experience our culture, and because they're very fortunate that they were able to come. I think any child is, to go to a different country and learn and study. So I think just seeing them probably in a totally different culture enjoy it and have fun, and then when they would see their friends just get together and chit chat, get excited about it, and it was kind of sad when we had to go drop them off at the school and they were going home, because you've been with this person for a month. It's a pretty good amount of time, and you just kind of get into the life stage of what's going on and how life is going, and so it was really strange and sad at the same time, because you've met these great friends that were kind of like your own kids, but yet they had to go back to their real mom and dad. So that was kind of sad, but definitely, when you're with someone that long, you get to know them. That's how it works.
Great experience. Yeah.
That's what we did. I had never done it before, and I thought it'd be so cool and so exciting, and there were definitely expectations that were different than I thought, but then there were some that I didn't, things I didn't expect that were great. So I think it's definitely an experience that if you have that opportunity, you should try to do. Learn, and they learn from you, you learn from them, and your family just gets to love on other kids. So.
Having an opportunity through an organization organization like Student Rooms Day, it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing. I would recommend it to anybody that's wanting to host